This is going to be a little longer of a video, but I would ask you just watch it all the way through. It's a pretty cool story of how something amazing came out of a pretty tragic situation. 3 days before I graduated from high school, I got a phone call that a good friend of mine had passed away. Janna had gotten up at a Young Life event to share her testimony. She stood up and she just fell over and passed away. So I get the phone call, and of course the questions of why, how come, but then also the guilt of we had some unresolved conflict between us and we hadn't talked for 5 or 6 months. I had written letters just wanting to ask for forgiveness and kind of make an amends, and never mailed them. So to give you just a little bit of background to kind of lead up to what had happened, I met Janna at a Young Life camp called Malibu, and she had something that I didn't have. She had this joy and peace about her that I was searching for, and as I got to know her, I realized that she had a pretty incredible faith in Jesus, even as a young 16, 17-year-old teenager. And she had something I wanted. So we became friends, and Janna was a pretty safe place where I could go and talk to about my faith and just my challenges. Well, she came to visit me in Wenatchee early in my senior year, and she expressed some feelings and wanted to have a relationship beyond just friends. But I told her I had a girlfriend that I really cared for at the time, and I really wasn't interested in that relationship being any different than what we had. So things kind of went sideways on that trip, and after that we didn't talk for quite a while. Well, after she had passed away, I just buried stuff. Didn't talk about it with anyone and just kind of went on with my life with this unresolved conflict, but that hurt and pain was still there and I was still dealing with it. Later that summer, I get some mail, and it's got a little note in it of, hey, I thought you'd want to see this. For some reason, I'm not sure why. And inside of it was a picture of Janna's tombstone. So somebody mailed me a picture of her tombstone, which had a white dove on it. And initially I'm thinking, why in the world would you send me a picture of her tombstone? I mean, it just felt so bizarre, so weird, out of the normal. So that night, like, just all this grief hit me. I mean, it's like as soon as I saw that picture, everything I was burying just kept coming back. And I'm just a mess. So I just get on my knees and I pray to the Lord, like, Father, just let me know everything's okay. Let me know that Janna forgives me. Let me know she's in heaven. Just let me know that everything's okay. And nothing happens. Wake up the next morning, go to work, and I'm going down 19th Street and right by the country club, past Baker, over Sunset Highway, and down to the bottom of 19th Street. And what I noticed right on that corner, that sharp corner that you take, the right-hand turn that goes north onto Cascade, I see a dove on top of a telephone pole. And as soon as I make the corner, this bird flies right down beside me, and it literally is right outside my driver window to where I could roll the window down and physically touch it. It's that close to me. And this bird's just flying right beside me at the same exact pace of my car. And so I'm looking over at it, looking to drive, looking over, and it's like looking at me, looking forward, looking at me, looking forward, and it didn't go any faster than me or slower than me. And so it's literally right beside me, and it flew beside me for about 1.5 miles. I mean, pretty long distance. And the other thing that I would say is I've seen a lot of doves here in Wenatchee, but I've never seen a white dove in the wild. So we get up, there's a big hill on Cascade. We get up the hill, and this dove is still flying right beside me. But at the top of the hill, it kind of gets a little bit faster, and it goes right in front of me, where it's flying right in front of the car, right in front of my face. And then we go about one more street, and it's like around 29th or 30th. I don't remember the streets there. it peels off. It goes faster than me, and it peels off, and it goes and lands on this house. Well, right at that moment, I realized that is the house that I took Janna to a party to when she came to visit me. That's the house that she expressed her feelings for me. And that's the house that things kind of went sideways on us. And right there in that moment, I realized this bird, one, I've never seen a white dove in Wenatchee. Two, this bird flies right beside me for literally about 1.5 miles, right beside me. And three, it lands on Mark Nason's house, the house that we went to a party at, where everything went sideways. Like, what are the odds of that actually happening? And then the fourth thing is someone the day before sends me a picture of her tombstone with a single white dove on it. I asked last night for a sign for the Lord to tell me that everything's okay. And right in that moment, I just lose it. Like, I realized the Lord just shared something for me to let me know that everything's okay. And I just felt this peace, like this peace from heaven just come down and just pierce my entire being, my soul. And I just felt like, just heard the words that said, everything's okay. And I just felt this peace come over me to where this conflict was resolved, to know that Janna's okay. And this was a moment for me that I've looked back on a lot that has helped build my faith in the Lord, because and it's also something I look back on and remember that the Lord is extremely personal. Nothing is too big to ask for. Nothing is too small to ask for. Yet he's present and he answers our prayers.